So would you like to achieve successful results? Because a lot of us get very confused. We do our imaginal act and we've got this kind of limbo where we don't know, am I taking the right action? Am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right mindset? This is about bossing it, as I call it. Own your 3D circumstances. Do you want to own it? Do you want to step into your, some people I suppose are calling it villain mode, maybe it's the same kind of thing, but essentially being that go-getter that gets that consistent success in all areas of your life, not just one area, in all of them. If you are serious about manifesting with successful proven results and you want to join this community of amazing manifestors with amazing success stories, then please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm Athena Raven. I'm a mental health and manifestation life coach. And in today's video, we're going to cover this very, very important, crucial topic, because you know that manifestation stems from self. You know it's all about a projection of who you say you are. Who do you believe you are? Who do you state yourself to be? Do you state yourself to be a bit of a comedian with avoidant attachment issues? I mean, I hate these labels, right? But avoidant attachments, and I don't know, you label yourself to be someone who's into Gothic style or someone who's into skateboarding. And these are the different concepts that we adapt for ourselves. But how about adopting a concept that ensures that you get success in all avenues of life, adopting the version of self that essentially everything works out for you? I mean, what would that be like instead? We could do like an umbrella shift in state. How about if I just boss this? Or how about I go into my own villain modes? And I think villain mode is essentially, it's all the same kind of thing. It's like you're using your frustrations. You know, I've actually manifested very successfully in this way, in the sense that if ever I've wanted to shift state and I've struggled to shift state, my 3D reality sometimes would put me through a bit of a nightmare situation. I know that some of you are going through that at the moment in your own manifestations. But what would happen is there'd be an accumulation of all these strong emotions within me, and I just get to a point where I'm just like, you know, I'm fed up of this. That's it. No more am I going to put up with this. No more am I getting that. No more am I being told by my boss that I'm not worthy of a pay rise, or no more am I going to encounter these men who are not ready to commit. No, I know what I want, and this is it. This is it, and this is what I've decided that I'm going to get. And that's, I suppose, your villain mode, where you're just like, you're literally steadfast in it. Same with being the boss in this, owning your 3D reality. That is when you own the 3D circumstances. They do not own you. And when you can get into that mindset, that mode, be it through imaginal acts, be it through the sheer frustration of living out torturous, painful patterns that you're just sick of it, this is the best way to stay steadfast in it, to be stubborn. That's what it's all about. Now, the thing is, a lot of you are being stubborn in the wrong way. This is not a criticism or anything. In fact, actually, to be fair, a lot of you who watch this channel and subscribe to my channel, my community that I have here, you are so intelligent. What I love about you is you're all intelligent, but you're really supportive of each other. And you get it. I actually get surprised at how much you guys get it. And on the flip side of that, of course, because everything's in existence now, there's also going to be people who are learning, and people who don't quite get it, or who have been derailed, are applying rules based on a dating coach said this, rules based on another coach said that, which, you know, I'm just imposing these rules, not based on any fact, not based on the law even, or based on knowledge of the law. And you've made that some of your truth. You've put conditions inadvertently in the way of your desire by putting in these rules. Now, listen up, okay, listen up. Spend some time with me here, okay, because this is a bit of a, not a rant per se, but I'm going to go a bit all over the place with this. But I promise you, I'll do everything I can to make this click for you, because it's truly important. If you are serious, like I say, and you want to get serious results, you need to understand this at the very core level. So first up, yes, occupy that state. Use your anger and frustration to occupy that state where I am the boss, I am the villain, or I am the go-getter, I am the person that everything works out for. You live a much more peaceful life. You're still going to encounter unfavorable things, but you live a much more relaxed life in that sense. Now, what's happening is there's a lot of confusion. I've shifted my state. That's all I need to do. That's all I need to worry about. But what a lot of people are doing, and I get why this has happened, and I get why people have this misconception, is that first of all, we've got to worry about, flip our thoughts, change our thoughts, and more importantly, that we've got to control our actions. Now think of it this way. when you flip your thoughts, you try and change your thoughts. It's met with a lot of resistance. And does that really change who you are at the core of it? Even if you keep on changing the meaning that you apply to something, my thought in relation to something. Oh, he doesn't love me. Oh, no. He does love me. He does love me. But has my state of being changed at that point? I probably have to repeat that over and over again to get any sort of change. And to be fair, I might never reach that change because it's met with a lot of resistance. Same with my behavior. So for example, I always struggled with my weight when I was younger, big fluctuations. And when I went to university, I was actually 3.5 stone or 3 stone heavier than I am now. That's quite a lot of weight. I don't know, it's 50, 60 pounds for those of you in the States. It's quite a lot of weight for someone as small as me. And I tried everything, okay? I manipulated my behavior, 3D circumstances, by forcing myself, not to eat or to do specific diets or to do exercises. Not that I'm a big one for exercise and stuff, but to walk more and things like that. And it was met with so much resistance, and I kept on getting inconsistent results in the 3D. Why? Because my state hadn't changed. As soon as I decided who I was, I'm the person who gets what she wants, and I not only lose weight effectively and seamlessly, but I remain that weight. My body always knows how to get to that weight no matter what, and I can eat and drink and do whatever the hell I like, and I don't even need to exercise because I'm not one to go to the gym. I'm not about to change that. I change my identity, who I identify as, and as a result of that, my behaviors, if they need to change, but I don't need to change my actions. Now, the reason I wanted to do this video is because those of you who tuned into last week's video, and I wondered if anyone was going to fall down the trap here. And actually, I'm pleased to say that majority of you didn't. Majority of you got the success story, understood that it was all about state of being, state of mind, right? Who do you say you are? What do you think manifestation is? It's always projection of who you state you are. This story was a perfect example, and I'm going to use it here. So maybe some of you who are new to the channel, I'm being attacked by pigeons here. Those of you who are new to the channel, maybe you haven't seen last week's success story. It was a subscriber of mine who very kindly shared a beautiful sort of SP manifestation success story based on her grandfather, who was talking about how he met her grandmother and how it was essentially a case of, that's the girl I'm going to marry. And he decided it, he was steadfast in it, and he never wavered from it, even though it took a couple of years and he was rejected 7 times by this woman. She was not having it. Now, the thing is, he pursued her. He was driven to ask her out. Each time that their paths crossed, he had no qualms about going up to her, talking to her, connecting with her, asking her out. And a lot of you saw it for the beauty that it was, and a lot of you saw it as a successful manifestation. And yet there's still 1 or 2 people that are getting confused about this. And like I say, I get this. And this video is maybe to help clarify this a little bit, because I understand, I've heard it from my clients too, that maybe I shouldn't take any action. Maybe I shouldn't be the first to contact my SP, for example, because there's this 3-day no contact rule, or you've got to play a bit hard to get. Now, this is sort of dating advice which really has no place in the law of assumption. That's going to have its own limitations, right? So it doesn't really have any place in the law of assumption as such. We're not here to control the 3D. Even those of you who are saying, I'm not taking action first, I'm not going to do anything first, guess what? You're still taking action. You are still manipulating the 3D by making that statement, because you are determining your success based on the 3D and what action you should or shouldn't take, essentially. It's not up to us. We don't have free will, and you would have heard this, and those of you actually manifesting a specific person probably feel quite comfortable with this, actually, because it's like, they have no free will, they're bending to my will. And I'll explain the free will topic, if you're interested, in more detail, and how it relates to the law and how it relates to us. Realistically, okay, it's not some sort of mind control or anything like that. It's not I'm going to do a few affirmations and they're suddenly going to fall down at my doorstep. It's not like that. But essentially what happens is, when I shift my mindset, when I change who I say that I am, my perception naturally changes. And as I've changed as a person, everything changes about me. This is why we can experience like physical changes. Suddenly I went from the person who struggled with weight to the person whose weight always remained consistent, and I can eat whatever junk I want to and still remain the same weight. I go from being a smoker to a non-smoker, not from I need to throw the cigarettes out and not smoke and put on the patches and try my best to stop. I mean, if that was part of my journey to use alternatives, then it would have been. But I identified as a non-smoker, and I didn't stop myself from smoking. I carried on smoking, still identifying as a non-smoker until my 3D conformed. And that means not only your thoughts, but your behaviors. Your behaviors get affected by your shift in state. Okay, so we don't have free will, because your behaviors, how you think and what you do and how you act and how you react, is all dependent in who you say you are, your core state of being. That's why don't flip your thoughts, don't try and change and manipulate your actions. This is all 3D stuff, this is all manifested stuff, because it can all be observed. Change your state, your core state of I am, and everything else changes. This is the way to do it with least resistance. So for people who are saying I shouldn't contact my SP and that, listen up. I've manifested numerous outcomes with numerous SPs. I've worked with so many people who are manifesting specific people, and I've posted up their success stories, as you know. Now we had Grandpa's success story last week. And we've had, I have posted up others before, because I remember a couple of people in the comments saying, she reached out first. It's not manifestation. What do you think manifestation is? It's projection of self. So if your actions, your inspired actions, tell you to reach out first for whatever reason, you were not going to mess things up. It's still a manifestation, and you were meant to take that action as part of your bridge of events. No one achieved anything from sitting in a room, closing themselves off, sitting on their hands and waiting for magic to appear out of the sky. Yes, sometimes miracles do happen. And yes, there's been occasions when, for example, I manifested a job. I didn't have to job hunt. I didn't have to do anything to make it happen. You don't do anything to make it happen. That's a different. But if your mindset is I'm a go-getter, I'm a boss, I'm owning this 3D, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to get. I'm going to be a writer, I'm going to be a famous actor, I'm going to have that dream home. Well, guess what? You will get moved, whether you like it or not, whether you want to take action or not. You are already going to be taking action. As soon as you've shifted state, that's it. No free will anymore. And this is the thing, so for those of you who are forcing yourself, who are maybe undermining, which I can't believe, but some people have gone as far as to undermine other people's success stories simply because that person reached out to SP first. Well, look, they're a success story. They got what they wanted. Look at Grandpa. Yeah, he reached out he wooed, did he? He wooed and he courted his future wife. But the people who missed the point did not understand the mindset. And the mindset was, throughout, he knew that she was going to be his wife, and so as a result of that, he kept asking her out, because he knew at some point he was going to get a yes. 3D said no, all right, next time it's going to be a yes. She said no again. It's just taking time for her to catch up. He was right all along. It panned out perfectly. Now, if he was to be stubborn, if he was to occupy the state of okay, I'm with her, but I'm not going to reach out to her, I'm not going to do anything, this manifestation would have still found its way to her, because it's a reflection. It's always going to find a way to you, but it would have been a very different bridge. Could have taken even longer, because it depends what needed to happen in her life as well. But this was the bridge of events. A bridge of events is perfect as it is. Don't bother meddling with it. We don't have to worry about the middle. That's all taken care of. You getting moved into action, even if you're uncertain, you can't ruin it with whatever action you take. And it's not about the action you take anyway. It doesn't matter what action you take. What's the mindset behind it? That's what matters. Because even if you're stating, I'm not going to take action, I'm not going to be the first, well, you're still manipulating the 3D. Why are you manipulating 3D? Why aren't you changing who you are and allowing who you are to dictate the correct course of action? Because it's going to be the correct course of action. We're not in chase mode just because we're going after our dreams and goals. I mean, yes, I didn't have to apply for other jobs. That job sort of came to me, but I still had to take action, i.e. I still had to go for the interview, submit my resume, have the conversation with my friend. What about when I was manifesting my dream cottage? It didn't land out of nowhere. I still had to save up. I still house hunted for 2 years before this one came on the market at the right time. I still didn't have enough money for it, but it was okay. It didn't matter. My bridge panned out perfectly. But I still had to house hunt for 2 years for it. I still had to take that action. I was moved, I was compelled to do that. And people think that this is not manifestation. What do you think it is? Manifestation is very natural. Why do you think that so many people who go through this process don't realize they're manifesting? It's because it's so natural. It's not drawing your attention to it. That's why so many people say, that would have happened anyway. You know, Neville's teachings, he talks about that. That would have happened anyway. It's all part of you. It's all coming from you. If I'm a go-getter, look at the other people who are successful. When you're looking at entrepreneurs, you're looking at famous actors, you're looking at how many auditions they had to go to, how many publishers they had to go to get their book signed. And it was their determination, the fact that I am an actor, I am a writer, I am a successful businessman, I'm a successful inventor, whatever it might be. That steadfast, I'm a boss, I own this, this is me, I'm in my villain mode, whatever you want to call this, right? But I'm in this mode, this is it, nothing's going to sway me, is what kept them going and persisting. And persisting is persisting in the mindset. But that means naturally, as a result of that, your actions are going to be persistent in terms of, yep, oh, just got another rejection from another place. All right, going to keep on doing it. Oh, created a great invention. It's a prototype. Actually, it's having a few issues, need to tweak it, but I'm going to continue. You know, Wright brothers with their dreams to fly and create, to invent planes. Again, how many different types, how many different stages, how many different failures? Did they just sit on their butts and imagine and that was it? No, you imagine first, you change your state, and then you take action, because we're living life. We're meant to live life. We're meant to live day to day, get on with your life. Yeah, we're not forcing, we're not chasing. This is another thing. This is another thing, right? For those of you who are still unsure about this, like I say, it's the mindset, okay? You could go and contact your SP numerous times if you want, throughout the duration of this contact, no contact or silence or whatever. You know, you could do that. The mindset will guarantee your success. Now, if I'm going into it in a lack mindset, i.e. I'm chasing and I'm calling and I'm begging them, that's a very different energy. How many of you have been in a situation where you've been chased, you know, by someone who's desperate, needy energy? That's not attractive, right? That's not going to get your desire. However, when someone is steadfast and forthcoming, and I've had that before too, I've been approached by guys who have been needy and desperate, and I've been approached by guys who have been very forthcoming, know what they want, and not afraid to ask you out, maybe once, maybe twice. They'll keep on. They've got the cheekiness to them. They've got the jovialness to them, because they know what they deserve. They know they're going to get you, and it's a different energy, isn't it? Coming in with confidence is actually a lot more attractive. That assertion through confidence is very different to assertion, manipulation, 3D through anxiety. Okay, so we're not manipulating 3D ever in this. We are changing our state. But understand that if you are occupying the right state, or any state, whatever state you're occupying, understand that you won't have free will. You will get moved into various actions, and some of those actions will be indirect to your end result. Like when I bumped into my SP, it didn't involve me reaching out to him. It didn't involve him reaching out to me. It involved me dyeing my hair, to be delayed, to take Coco for a walk, to then bump into him in the park. And that was how our bridge unfolded. But I was still moved into action. So does that make sense? Because it's sad for me to see that people share success stories and then we get this, you know, that's not manifestation though. They reached out first. Why isn't it? That's their mindset. Their mindset is, I'm a success. Their mindset is, in relation to this, that she's my wife, or that's my specific person. I'm going to be married to that person. I'm going to have that job. I'm going to have that career. And so they were driven into action, and they carried on until they got it. And that's why their success. That's why, for example, if you're going back to the last story, that's why he got wealth from poverty, from a working class poor family. He got wealth, he got his wife, he got a career, a brilliant career as a doctor out of it, got his, you know, his studies and stuff back then. So how is this not manifestation? How is this not a success? What are people understanding manifestation to be? It's not some crazy hocus pocus, I'm going to sit there and it's going to appear. It's about life. It's actually very natural, your bridge of events. And if you're meant to take action, you will. And if you're not meant to take any specific action, you will be taking some sort of action. But you know what I mean? If your inspired action is something like actively looking for that property or handing out your resumes, and until that right one comes along at the right time, that it's just seamless, that you just end up getting that job without any effort or trying. That's how it will be. But remember, it's all your assumptions interlinked into one that is constantly being projected. But don't assume for one moment, just because you feel like you had to work hard to get somewhere, that it's not a manifestation. Just because it was natural unfolding, it's not a manifestation. Just because you reached out to your SP first, it's not a successful manifestation. It is. And if my clients didn't reach out, for example, the ones that did, like I say, it's not often that it happens, but it happens. The ones that reached out were meant to reach out. If they didn't, okay, the bridge could have unfolded another way. But what if you just added another, I don't know, 5 years to your manifestation, because whatever needs to now transpire on that side for this to come about and for contacts to be reconnected? I mean, what if? We don't know. It might not even be the case. It might not even be that long. But instead of pigeonholing, instead of limiting ourselves by, this is what dating coaches say, so we should go no contact, and I'm going to play games. I'm manipulating the 3D. I'm not the person who has. I'm not the go-getter who's confident. I'm suddenly feeling like I have to do stuff in the 3D, play hard to get. But my core state is that of, I'm very anxious. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this person still. And so you're still going to manifest failure in this relationship because the mindset doesn't change. Does this make sense? I hope so. I really hope so. I know that might have been a lot of information that I've thrown your way. And it's something that I'm passionate about, just because people share their wonderful successes, and it's sad to see anyone sort of demeaning that in any way simply because they do not understand the law. But I understand it, and that's why I'm here to hopefully teach it, to bring some clarity. Have a look at your life and everything you've manifested so far, and you'll see for yourself how you were pushed into action, how maybe you were moved to take on a new skill or a new hobby or learn something new for that job, or maybe you weren't. Some of it does quite easily come your way, but yes, you will have to take action because your higher self determines that, not you. We've only got the choice of what state to occupy, and that's it. So own it. Be in your boss energy, your villain mode. Be determined in your end result, and then it doesn't matter what action you take, because it's the right action for you to get success. And that's what we're all about here on this channel. So thank you all for joining me. Please do like the video if that was helpful. Sending you loads of love, and I'll see you in the next one.